new map pool and fresh looks for both these rosters. It really is an exciting time to get a rematch only a couple of weeks after that quarterfinal blowout from G2 in Copenhagen. Can MOUZ stand a test today? Got a very difficult map to begin with. They're not going to have it in their pocket. You presume it's Nuke. G2 old reliable, and they go right into the T side. MOUZ make a gamble, leaning on the ramp stack. Even HooXi not really committed to A. That leaves just xertioN. This is his lowest rated CT-sided map, and he is alone in the A site.
And he's going to have his work cut out for them as this exec looks to come through for G2. It's all eyes on xertioN, and he is run down. Nico opens with a double.
And that's a Nico we've been seeing all tournament. More so yesterday than ever before. He has had so many struggles and troubles in CS2. But maybe, just maybe, he's awake in time for a championship finally. It has been such a good look from this guy. Yesterday, absolutely owned Virtus Pro. And G2, they've already got the track record. They've already won this game. So I think MOUZ have to battle not only their own demons in their own heads, but the bolstered confidence of G2, knowing they can do this in 2.
And out of all the ways it could have started, this one is maybe the most brutal. A couple of kills in at the end as G2 get caught exiting. None of it will come to matter for MOUZ as they now have to sit back. G2 going to get all this early momentum. And there is absolutely no denying it here in Chengdu. G2 are the crowd favorite. They are the heavy favorite. And I think that's going to keep up no matter who they play.
I mean, that's a MOUZ life, isn't it? Always, hey, crowd pleasers as well. MOUZ always playing against not only the crowd, but the stage experience team. This team is the opposite of stage experience with such young players, a young core. But every time they play, it's against G2, it's against FaZe, right? 3 semi-finals in a row from Sydney, Abu Dhabi to Katowice against FaZe. No wonder MOUZ have crumbled. No wonder we built this narrative that they've struggled in stages. I can barely blame them, but they're not going to be able to brush it off with ease. Not against some of the world's most experienced teams. You've got to rise to that occasion. And so that is the big question for MOUZ, whether they can do it today. And it doesn't help that they get these quick skips to the semi-finals. They don't get to warm in against maybe a team that struggled, only just clinched the group stage. They go right into the big dogs, warmed up and rabid. G2 hitting ramp.
Well, this guy is a very good talking point for MOUZ. Jimmy needs to have a big game today, but run through by HooXi. And so won't even be saying his name as this one gets brushed aside. G2 in full control.
I mean, they've won both these rounds off 2 kills. That exit won't change a damn thing. HooXi can go look lower. He's got nothing to lose. But G2, 4 guns established on this B-bomb site, a plant and double door control. There is simply no world where MOUZ win this round, and they know it deep down. So G2 converts. Got to do a little bit more up against Famasis in the next, but already a shaky look from Jimmy on ramp. It's only 1 round, but he gets caught off. Can't drop in time. And this is old dependable. The guy who can make ramp on CT look like a star position. Not in this round.
HooXi trying his hand at the exits.
Damage is big, but not enough. They'll live.
Yeah, I think, you know, when we kind of look at who's going to need to perform today for MOUZ, Jimpphat is obviously, I'm inclined to agree with him, right? It was him who kind of had a big fall down last time these teams met back in Copenhagen. And he's an integral piece of the MOUZ puzzle. His aggression is something that can open up rounds, can win rounds for this MOUZ squad. So you don't want him going tame and being a bit freaked out under the bright lights of the stage. You You need his A game brought forward.
As I mentioned, xertioN having troubles on this map, especially on CT sides, it's only going to be made worse by what Maniac was talking about, which is how G2 are so willing to make these fast calls, and they'll go for 3 top hits in a row. They don't really care. They'll come in confident. HooXi will make those very ballsy calls, and when you consider that xertioN is an A anchor, he is going to be in a lot of trouble if G2 start off steamrolling and feel like they can make these plays. If MOUZ don't show they can resist top hits, G2 will punish. For now, it's just XX outside, get Nico crossing, but m0NESY's picked the door, the wallbang connects, and they even have that lower control. xertioN will block it, but Nico is in no hurry. G2 sit comfortably in this 4-on-4. It's a nice position for xertioN. Might be the only way into this round. He's got the one gun after all.
And he is the one line of defense for the top site. So if he doesn't get out with a kill, suddenly this round gets very complicated, very unlikely. But he's the one guy who can make it exciting.
Oh, the timing is awkward. Even though they get the kill, the call's already been made. m0NESY's gone outside because Nico's all the way around the world. G2 can go for an A split. They can group for a ramp through hell. That would probably take too much time. So MOUZ, flanks on flanks, they go outside. This is getting weird. 40 seconds. Nico needs a kill soon, and it's going to have to be up.
Oh, he just got spotted there. Nico thinks he's being sneaky, but he's not. HooXi's even giving chase. Up behind him, Nico! Disaster in heaven, and this one's getting out of hand. G2 are running out of time. They're running out of chances here. And MOUZ did not have much to rely on in this round, but they've hit every timing. They've found every gap, and it's only m0NESY left in the clutch. First kill found, but he's got so much more to do. And MOUZ, they don't fight him. They'll pick that one up with a FAMAS on xertioN and a handful of pistols. They find success in round 3.
That round is so important just to get MOUZ on the board early, feeling like they can compete in this game. And like we said, the momentum of this matchup is going to be monumental. But Hunter with the early swing, m0NESY had time to make that play in heaven with 15 seconds. I would love to see Hunter just wait a few seconds, draw out a jiggle, get a bait. He didn't need to go for that kill, and that makes that round almost impossible for m0NESY. It's good at the clutch, but that one a bridge too far. G2 now disrespect on that A hit, rushing in the hut. The M4 comes up clutch, but there's another flank on that. m0NESY can't escape. Surely not. Somehow turns around for an unbelievable kill, and G2 have broken through.
Oh, Nico's dig lands in Chengdu, and that will close the round. And that was a MOUZ staple. That is a MOUZ classic. One of the things we spoke about all group stage long is how fluid and how aggressive this team likes to be. G2 repel that on a low buy, no less.
m0NESY, I don't know how the hell he kills that ramp flank. That is the round-winning kill if Jimpphat can get it. But he again falls at the first hurdle. And that just breaks you if you're MOUZ. So early in the half as well. G2 call a timeout. They want to gather themselves. This has been a bit of a rambunctious beginning to Nuke. So G2 try not to jump the gun. Like you said, they're going to be ready for that aggression that those lobby takes. MOUZ getting in their face. So G2 need to make sure that they don't leave these gaps.
Yeah, I think if you're MOUZ there, right, it's one that you don't want to overthink too much. I think one of the issues that you sometimes see when this team get to this stage is they get a bit more rigid. And they lose that ability to flow around the map, something that makes them such a scary team in the group stages. And so in that one, you know, you can admit to yourselves that it was working for the longest of times. It was looking good. And it was a stellar recovery for m0NESY that flipped the script. And that's going to happen sometimes when you're up against this G2 squad. m0NESY will win those rounds. He's not supposed to win. But in this one,
cast is building for G2, right? It's typically in the recent times has just been m0NESY. Now we're seeing Nico. Now we're seeing Hunter. Even nexa, a consistent, reliable player on this team. Jimpphat talking of consistency, that's his bread, that's his butter. He goes for a bite, he takes a dink. Nico's low as well. Jimpphat reposition and repeat for the AWP. Oh, it's not a factor. It's all Jimpphat. 3 kills down secret. m0NESY gets a kill.
Hang on.
Surely G2 can't recover this.
Yeah, they never should. Dead in the vent there. m0NESY tries to go back in, hold that. And it leaves it all on Nexa, creeping deep. Torshi's got no idea. Oh, Torshi. Oh, buddy. Oh, turning back in time! And Nexa's knocked out. Gets a bit ugly there for G2 after Jimmy P. Very well done as he moves in towards lower. He had a lot of responsibility. He had a lot to deal with here, and he makes it look so easy.
Lining them up. And that AWP dink doesn't make life easy for G2. There we go. That's Jimpphat back in the game. The highest rated player at MOUZ. He's had an unbelievable tournament. Destroyed Liquid on Mirage. This guy was a nightmare. Another wall down outside for G2, but they won't send nexa with it this time. It's going to be that upper hit. A little delayed here. It put everything in this round. So much util. HooXi on top, Brollan by his side. xertioN not far from it.
HooXi mollied out into the open. Run down, first man falls, and they even get Brollan out from the vent. Torshi reclaims it and puts us back into an even odds battle here for this top side control. MOUZ are making a play and they move in, denying the space. HooXi dead. And between Jimpphat and Torshi, that one is recovered. 4 kills from the 2 of them. Torshi sitting up top of the board for the MOUZ squad at 9-1, so he is at least in good spirits and in good form to open up this semi-final.
Well, that lack of respect from MOUZ, in the 3v3, a lot of teams would give it up and you know, wait for the retake and group up, wait for that main smoke to fade. They don't do that. They come running at G2. Don't let them get comfortable. Don't let them plant the bomb. And now G2 have nothing to show for it.
It's still very early days, but MOUZ is certainly giving a more them look to this game. The MOUZ aesthetic all over this CT side with how they've looked to play it so far. And so I hope that keeps up. Hope this kind of is the breakthrough point for this MOUZ squad.
Yeah, in a sense, I sort of believe what xertioN says when he feels like there isn't much mentally blocking MOUZ. It's more just that experience. It's more just the caliber of teams they're playing. This team looks so confident. Right now, they're doing their best to translate that to the stage. Whether or not they get the crowd's approval.
I mean, you've got to respect the CT side that's been brought forward from Torshi already.
11-1.
Yeah, someone who kind of swings up and down on the consistency level, but man, when he's on, and he's feeling good right now.
The meme game has been incredible. I don't understand any of them, but the fans bringing like tablets to show photos. I've seen some printed memes. It runs deep here. MOUZ are running wild. 3 rounds in a row, G2 look for that top pick. They saw that cross down secret as well. Torshi knows it, so he'll up and leave, rotate around the world. Jimpphat pushed in on ramp side again. HooXi, they need this trade, but it comes at a cost.
Rotating towards ramp, HooXi next up on the docket for Hunter here. nexa dead out in the yard. MOUZ, they've got a commanding position in this round, locking out the ramp take and dealing with nexa as he tries to come in on that late lurk outer. G2, they might be given the ramp room, but it's all by design for MOUZ. They hold all the cards here. They've got the extremities. They've got G2 boxed in. And so even though you've got this control over towards ramp, everywhere you can move past this point is being held. It's being considered. And these positions are one where 1 kill should really be a given here for MOUZ, as that's going to leave somebody in a clutch.
HooXi on an off angle, a little wide, and m0NESY can't clear that one. There's that trade, and now Hunter, in a world of hurt, 2 nades gives him plenty of info on that upper site. He can stall it out if he wants. There's another HE coming in. He knows what to expect. and he's going to get it. xertioN on top of the hut, puts another one on the board for MOUZ. Nice double from Jimpphat on the ramp push as well. And MOUZ play to contain, they don't fight for that position. HooXi does his job. And MOUZ keep G2 working for this game.
I mean, from that initial start, there's been nothing in this for G2. This is a big deal that MOUZ are looking this good on a G2 classic map, on one that MOUZ have had a lot of struggles on as of late.
Yeah, they've just been avoiding it entirely off in the second ban. It's a spot. Nico saw xertioN getting aggressive, but it won't matter when he jumps up through the smoke. MOUZ making this anti-eco easy enough. They've cleared outside, they go back to enforce A. And this orb just gets to stare down at the hut. G2 come rushing.
xertioN from main, helped out by xertioN on that AWP. Hunter dropping in to his demise. And it's a big round from xertioN. m0NESY can't do a thing here. And so it might be a flawless sixth, locked and loaded, ready to go for the MOUZ squad as they are running away with the CT side.
Oh, that's
one
a
kill
little awkward.
from m0NESY, one freebie. But surely that is as exciting as this gets. Brollan and xertioN playing in tandem. And so 5 straight now for MOUZ.
xertioN is everywhere. G2 can't really seem to avoid him. Sure, they're trying a lot of top hits, but he's just playing that rotated position. He's at ramp when they come through. Nice see G2 go back into standard outside control, throw a wall of smokes, maybe use multiple players. For the most part, it's just been Nico, with the exception of that one round where Jimpphat multi-kills them. Let's see if G2 decide to use these smokes. Certainly looks like it. Oh, but xertioN, he's got a remedy. He's got a trick up his sleeve.
They've got no clue. They assembled this boost quickly. As a result, I don't think they even checked this. xertioN with the response. Nexa's one and done is exactly that. They will give it a little bit of a glance, but it's great damage from xertioN. HooXi's even made one hell of a play here, bypassing them in the lobby, pushing all the way through, and HooXi's got no clue.
He knows that deep smoke makes it very clear exactly what HooXi's up to. He won't know he's inside the smoke, but knows that lobby is corrupted. He's going to try and fight for it. The timing is awkward on HooXi's push. HooXi comes up the better. MOUZ have to make an active move. They'll clear up outside, but G2, world is their oyster right now. They can go A, they can go ramp. They're going to avoid MOUZ in their entirety.
I mean, these are your bedrock players right now if you're MOUZ. Your 2 top performers left up in this 2-on-3.
They're going the right way.
They're going to meet G2 in the top side. m0NESY or Hunter rather dead early. HooXi followed up on 2. Jimpphat! He is ready for his time in the limelight. G2 get destroyed, a man up as they try to take A. And Jimmy does not let them in.
And G2 feel like that's a good call, right? It feels like a perfect call. Re-clearing the lobby, they don't have info, they trade out upper. That's, you know, it should be nothing wrong with that. Jimpphat should not get 3 kills there. And the AWP isn't even required. He just makes it look easy. G2 get iced out by the young Finn. And that is ugly. Hunter knows it. Ooh. Disastrous round.
This is so exciting, though. This is so exciting. MOUZ is what they've been preaching. Is it true? Is it happening? Are they actually ready for these moments? Have all the setbacks led to this? In Chengdu, where they decide to come alive and become a stage team. Because right now, they are wrecking G2.
Yeah, not a contest. Those early economical trade-outs for G2, and that's all they've had.
And when we talk big stage teams, there are really 2 that get flung out there all the time. That's G2, that's FaZe. Both in the playoffs. and MOUZ are destroying one of these big stage teams.
In a way, we have this for both semi-finals, right? We have these like unproven stage teams versus the familiar faces of the top fours of the grand finals, right? And the way I frame Astralis there is just that Stown and Yabi, of course, traditionally had troubles with taking titles when they were back on Heroic. Sure, Device is no newbie to the stage, but he's in a new role as an in-game leader. Stare's a very young player with the exception of Cologne. We've not seen him have success there either. So for the most part, Astralis are in a similar position, an equatable position to MOUZ. And that group stage performance right now, straight to the semi-finals, looking to not be a myth, to be well placed. And all of that is despite G2 showing us a rise in form. Nico playing out of his mind against VP in those quarterfinals.
Having his second best tournament in CS2.
Yeah, that's something. And his best big tournament, of course, the one you're talking about is the RMR, where you know he should be flying through with flying colors. Right now, there's no question MOUZ are dominating this game. There is still time in the half on this T side. But on a map that has been so unreliable for MOUZ and so safe for G2, screams danger in this semi-final.
And here's the thing, I think sometimes, you know, it takes you a few L's to truly learn, right? Because you're still trying to find the solution. You don't lose a big stage game and then immediately it's all become clear to you now. You know what it takes to win, right? You try something new. Oh, that didn't work either. Try something new. And I think for a while, MOUZ were maybe even overthinking it, right? They were putting too much on what it meant to play on stage, because it is a different game. That's something that they spoke about earlier on. I think it was back at Katowice. But the theory, the idea as to how they want to approach it here in Chengdu has been very different. They want to treat it like any other match. And right now, MOUZ are looking almost one-to-one with how they try and play in the group stages.
I mean, what did HooXi say the other day? He said that Zip, coming in as assistant analyst, has given him some great tips on performing on stage. Well, there's not really many better players to have that experience, to give you that knowledge. It's getting put to use. Pistols again make this round interesting. Nico finds a backstab timing as they fake out lower. The call, the panic that xertioN gives when he sees 3 players down B means MOUZ aren't ready for a top hit, but it might be coming through nonetheless. Jimpphat through his own smoke, a ballsy re-aggression. This kid is not scared today. Nexa checks the timing. They're going to crunch together either way. Nexa is in hot water, but he's boiling. Burning Brollan alive. Jimpphat will respond. G2 have heaven. They have the A site.
It's another 2v3, well 2v4 at the start of it, required from HooXi and Jimmy. But these two have delivered this exact round once before. On the bed, HooXi makes the play and lives to tell the tale. They do deal with Jimmy, and so HooXi's going to do it alone. Oh my God! What a crazy shot! Thank God Nico is there to put a stop to it.
That's filth. That is filth.
HooXi is playing with real confidence, and I believe he can just switch off that part of his brain, the one that does all the thinking for him. He's playing on raw inertia and feeling right now.
Lizard brain.
G2, a huge round for them to finally break this streak. And it comes down to the wire. It's not clean, but they'll take it. They'll take whatever they can get their hands on at this point.
Yes, they are swimming in it. Just upper rush again and again. HooXi finds that entry. It's only Shui at the back of the site. He puts on a double. That's more than you bargained for if you're G2. But they come through with more and more kills. No rest for the Wicked. MOUZ try to seize the moment. And now it's G2 in the site. xertioN bounds out after 1. Trying to long this round out. G2 prioritizing the plant while they've got a gap. Nexa will stick it. He's got 4 nades to block heaven as well. Oh, Molly fails.
Oh dear. You hope that miss Molotov isn't the thing that brings xertioN back into this. That's bought him a big few extra seconds to play with here. Nico spots him. They know where he is. And Nico's been a safe pair of hands at denying these clutches. Nexa will take the swing, and so G2 They recovered. They chained together 2 to close out this first half. And with 5 rounds on their T side, that could be enough.
Don't know how it's come to this. I don't know how I could resist. I took a vow to never sin, but I saw the darkness from within.
After a dominant lead taken from the MOUZ squad, G2 bite back, getting the final 2 rounds down this stretch. It does leave MOUZ with a little bit of breathing room, but as they move on to the T side of G2's pick, a map where their CT sides can be commanding, to say the least, MOUZ still very much have their work cut out for them.
Got the stars of the show standing up at least for MOUZ, but G2, like you said, more than comfortable on defense from Nico in the yard. This could be a masterclass. What HooXi cooked up, trying to fake out the door. It's baited nexa in. There's 2 players here though, and he hits hard with a P2K. Not hard enough. It's a massacre on ramp. Everybody falls, and MOUZ now have an open path to B. HooXi cutting vent rotations if he wants, and he'll just go right down as well. MOUZ have full control. G2 double ramp with no kit.
This would be such a feel-good round. This would be such a return to form from MOUZ, not letting those last 2 rounds get to them, get under their skin, and it would do a lot of the legwork for this T side. Hunter might make it into the site, but G2, they need kills. With no kit, they've got to force some of these fights to come through. Right now, they need a hero, and with Hunter dead, it's only Nico left in the picture. And MOUZ are just toying with him. They will not look to fight him here. Jimmy goes swinging in at the end, and with 4 in the pistol, Jimpphat is not messing around. Now that MOUZ move on to the T side.
Such a reassuring performance of Jimpphat in this game, and he comes through with a 4K on pistol as well. Not necessary. But this young player, 17 years of age, back on the stage, is making a statement game against G2, getting vengeance from Copenhagen, a new map pool, a scarier map pool if I say so myself, not just with Nuke, but picking into Ancient as well, big danger. G2, proclivity to play that map, even if the numbers aren't great, they're more than happy to do so, and yet they are getting trounced. Forced buy for G2, desperate times. Hunter's grabbed Monacy's scout, who's been picked early for the entry man of MOUZ, and he's looking for more as well. Nico's timing is important. He's been covered from Brollan. This is not going to be easy for Nico. When was it ever easy though? Deagle does nothing. Scout will tag him up. Hunter trying to chip away, but MOUZ can just group and go together in a 5-on-3. This is a nice reset. HooXi takes the lobby, but it's still being patrolled by, you guessed it, Jimpphat.
Oh, Jimmy P takes one of the dome. Nexa gonna try and regain this control, but he's got a lot more than just Jimmy to deal with. And even that first man hits hard enough.
Those jiggles are gross. What?
Oh, Torshi!
Get him out.
What's happening to this guy?
3 deaths. Torshi is rivaling Jimmy right now. 17-3, 19-6. These are such top-heavy scorelines.
And coming into this, with the tournaments that MOUZ's had in this G2 jersey since CS2 dropped, you thought it was a certainty that he would be the guy you're getting excited about. However, it's Torshi, hands down, finding more impact, getting away with crazier stuff. It's no contest right now between the two of them.
Yeah, now full eco for double digits. I mean, this is a tough game for G2. They're going to have to pull a massive comeback once they hit rifle rounds. And if MOUZ just start throwing A hits at them, those rounds could be so finicky, so undependable. On CT side, a good flash, and this game is over. Entries come freely outside for MOUZ. Honestly, can't save them here. In fact, no one will. 5 alive, 10-5, and this gun round decides the game.
Oh, she's 19-3, man.
Jimmy's 20-6. And xertioN's not exactly being cold either. He was dealing with those A hits. Him and Shui finding a couple of multi-kill rounds. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. But G2, have you got anything to say in this game?
Honestly gets to bring that AWP into the round. And so he needs to hit like Torshi. A sentence I never thought I would say. That's the aim of the game right now for G2. Just get on the board. You have to take it round by round at this point. Smoke's down out in the yard. Nex has already dropped down into secret, so he'll be able to confirm exact numbers here and maybe even stem this bleed over down into lower.
I like his fallback. If he dies here, G2 might panic, they might over-rotate. Instead, they have to hold strong in their positions. MOUZ on the ramp, the only man here, and they're running his way. He's going to get out after one. Support from the hell side denied. That might rejig the route here for MOUZ. If they go B, they're going into the stack. So they reconsider. Up the vent comes HooXi. That's a very important rotation to give a little bit more support to upper, but he has 4 kills right now. He has not done a thing in this game, and G2 need a hero here on this top side.
Is HooXi the man for the job? Oh, weird. Hunter out in heaven, hasn't seen them out through the hut either, and HooXi is in a bit of a rough spot here with Hunter dead, and HooXi dealt with, topside crumbles, and this first rifle round, xertioN's even giving chase. MOUZ, they're cheeky with it.
Careful.
This is the MOUZ you know, but
Careful.
don't invite G2 back in.
Okay.
Giving chase on 2. Has handed an even odds retake to the G2 squad, but they are writing this one off. They are not going for it.
It's right there for the taking. I'm shocked. It might just be the lack of kit making that decision. G2 knowing they are making predictable rotates through main and vent, the latter of which is very precarious, and they don't want it. They want another chance for MOUZ on this AWP. He did his job on the ramp room, but Jimpphat flipped that on its head, and that upper hit with nothing to show for it. Exits that all G2 will get. 11-5.
I don't know. For
That is shocking.
Yeah,
I'm shocked.
Don't get me wrong, like, on the back of money, you can justify the save, sure. But if I ask you at the end of that round, what team is playing with confidence and what team is playing not to lose, I think the answer is obvious.
It screams where G2 are at mentally in this game. They don't feel like they can win that round, and they know the importance of having another bye.
I just think there's a world where that 2v2 is the best spot G2 are in the remainder of this game.
And it might be. G2 are banking on not being the case. Will that be a regret? An opportunity wasted in their map pick of this series? This would be MOUZ with undeniable momentum in a semi-final. Honestly, with a missed shot, don't say that every day. It's a tight gap though. Jimpphat won't tangle with him. They instead cross down lower. That volley's a problem. xertioN doesn't care. He goes through nonetheless, trying to take his quick timing down to B. MOUZ, they're called group stage merchants. Right now, they're selling a lie to G2. It's only one man there. Double drop. It's ramp they've got to worry about, and no one is in position to deny this play. No one even considering it. They're trying to group up, hunt down xertioN here. This is nice for G2. They're going to get info as well with a kill, but they need this clean. He cannot afford to get both frags out. HooXi will stop him at the first hurdle, but now the ramp hit comes walking.
G2, as they cross back into control and double doors. They won't offer up a fight here. MOUZ are not given anything, but they do have the space to try and get this bomb planted. xertioN being the man to try and take double doors. Moving in on the AWP, and that molly forces nexa away. That's going to facilitate a bomb plant. HooXi attempting to punish it. Isn't able to do so, and now the aggression coming through from the MOUZ squad. That AWP is posted, that AWP is situated on the line. xertioN flashed off the angle, some space taken back over towards the doors, but the AWP is not dealt with yet. HooXi has the chance right here to run it down. 3v3 for G2. They could justify that save if they win this round, and HooXi is the man trying to take them there. HooXi is on for the ace, and it's just Shui left to beat. Door ready to be swung, and he waits till the final few seconds, but it's all HooXi. All 5 in the round, and he's the man who brings it home for G2. A hero had to emerge, and HooXi was the last candidate you expected, but he pulls G2 over the line there, kicking and screaming.
Unbelievable, and Nico's just sticking. Well, his captain carries it through, grabs the kick, grabs the defuse, saves the day. It is all HooXi, and like you said, justified now. G2 right their wrongs, back on the board, but there's a long way to go.
Oh my God, they're already in the top side. G2 weren't ready for this pace, weren't ready for this speed, but they're able to withstand it. m0NESY jumping on in, holds the line, and with xertioN dead, it's all eyes on Jimmy P.
Clutch kid through a smoke, fearless, but m0NESY comes gunning and closes it down. 3 shots off from m0NESY, all connect this time. G2 trying to build, trying to ride the waves of this game. Will they capsize? Or can they reach their destination of a regulation win? We're going to need 6 more in a row for G2.
Even though MOUZ have looked lights out and they showed no sign of stopping, they're still vulnerable to that mental crumbling, because thus far everything's been working out, right? They felt nigh on invincible, and the finish line was right there. It felt like the final task was just to get across, just to get the 2 rounds that win you the game. But the nature starts to change if G2 build. And right now, G2 are building. nexa with the shutdown. Bit of help from m0NESY.
That. And it's done. Flawless as well. I like that MOUZ are still confident. They're still going for gung-ho plays. We had that A rush off the back of the clutch. Jimpphat buys an AK in that previous round. But is it misfounded? Because closing games out, that's the hardest part. Especially when G2 have been given reason to believe. So Cyclone's got to calm the kids down.
Yeah, there's 2 very opposing situations taking place within these teams, right? For G2, they're being brought back in, and they are a stage team, and it doesn't take much to switch that on and start to believe, especially when you're playing from the back, but you're rapidly closing the distance. They thrive in that sort of environment. MOUZ, meanwhile, they had this game in the bag, this map at least. That's what it felt like. And as it starts to slip through their fingers, they get worried. Are we going to crumble on the stage again?
Can't question it, right? You can't think about that. Round by round. Oh, still making plays, still making moves. Jimpphat gets down the vent. G2 must consider this as an option. They won't rotate a single player. Instead, they look to take space elsewhere. m0NESY covering nexa's aggressive ramp situation. Nico doesn't have a nade. The molly's too late. xertioN makes it down for free. We now have 2 MOUZ players in that lower site. TorzHi hears these jumps as well. Nico spots a player, mate, goes for that kill, but he'll pay the price. Double entry for MOUZ, and they have all of the map to tangle with. They don't even need to go upper.
Free B site almost feels too good to be true for MOUZ. They're very respectful with how they approach this.
The goal is just not walking into a stack, right? If they want to end B, that's fine, but maybe send a player in early, get that information, find out where the stack of G2 is. If they're going to hit B, they need to do it with all players grouped at the same time. TorzHi's going to go up heaven, either try and cut the rotate down through the vent, or late lurk to stop G2 attempting a retake. B is free, we know that, and MOUZ soon will too. TorzHi's just trying to stay alive behind enemy lines. And he at least plays to deny a save unless G2 exit T-spawn. That is their only option here. So MOUZ do it. The double entry, and G2 don't find anyone. MOUZ hold their positions and convert on lower. That lobby take does nothing for G2. And the exits will be allowed.
That is a huge sigh of relief round from MOUZ. It's all started with Brollan, finished off nicely by TorzHi. And they don't overthink it. They don't overplay their hand. They don't go walking into a G2 stack. They follow through with the intent to hit that B site. They were waiting for a while, seeing if nexa cropped up at any point. And so now the last timeout used for G2, a tall task ahead of them. They thought that they were grinding away back into this game. They thought that they were going to break the mental of MOUZ. But after so many fall downs in these playoff games, MOUZ might have learned their lessons.
And I mean, if MOUZ win this game, if MOUZ win this series, it's so great to not just see them do it and break the loss streak on the stage, but also to do it against one of those Titan teams that we talk about in phase in G2. It's not like they've got a caveat on a win. It's revenge. A week later, it's revenge on a new map pool. I would argue a worse map pool on paper for MOUZ, but they've come in prepared for this playoff game, prepared for their opponent. And now, 4 chances, 1 round. What have MOUZ got for us?
He's into this one slowly off of the break. Could be nerves of not wanting to give it away, or it could be giving G2 enough rope to hang themselves here as they are desperate. And MOUZ know that. m0NESY's trying to make a hero play out in the yard, and this is a heroic moment. He's not going to see anyone yet, but even the info that no one's crossed with these, but he's not ready for exertion. And that quick switch cost him his life. A man up now for MOUZ, and one hell of a player to have found. It's top of the board, m0NESY dead first in what could be G2's last round on this map, their map.
Oh! Ah! Jitters. He'll get it now.
Little jittery, but that's because MOUZ are on the precipice of something huge here. They know how big taking away G2's home map is to open up this semi-final. They're just 4 kills from doing that. HooXi and Hunter have to withstand this topside exec as MOUZ come lurching in. It's awkward on the first, but there's the follow-up. TorzHi and xertioN. Quick work made of the top site. And MOUZ practicing what they preach. It's like any other game. That's what they said. And they have played to that. They might have learned their lesson today. G2 left watching on. They can't believe what's just happened. Dominated on Nuke to open, and now we enter uncharted waters. MOUZ, it's Ancient up next. They're picking the series, but with a map under their belt and wind in their sails, there might be no stopping them.
Yeah, godlike game from Jimpphat, godlike performance from HooXi, matching m0NESY, besting him either in head-to-head AWP. MOUZ